cracking, mi gente? You guys already know this, your boy Swag. Coming again one more time, coming to you guys ready to show some love and a little bit of knowledge. Today, as you guys can see, I'm gonna go talk about the shooting that happened in San Francisco a few weeks ago in 20th Street. The people deemed it that the victim was a Sureño from one of those neighborhoods. So I'm here to clarify a few facts and hope you guys like this video and continue to support it. Make sure you guys hit a like, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't done so, and leave a comment. Let's start a conversation. Let's get it going. I will answer to you guys as soon as I can. With that being said, let's get into the topic. Alberto Vargas Quero, that was his name. He was as early as 20. He was a Venezuelan kid or young man that traveled to Colombia, and from Colombia he traveled over here to the United States looking for a better life and looking to help out his family that was left in Venezuela. As you guys know, Venezuela have been ridden by corrupt government, and plus the president they have over there didn't want no help. He shut down the borders. He didn't want to accept no help from the United States. He didn't want to accept no help from nobody else. The United States, I guess, wanted to take over the country, wanted to take that president off because he was a communist. And you guys know how the United States government is. They're always trying to bully people out of the country. They're always going to countries where they're not called or their help is not being asked. So the Venezuelan president, Maduro, he wasn't pulling up for it. So you had a lot of Venezuelans fleeing the country. Yeah, throughout the news, I have seen lately a lot of Venezuelans have turned violence. The shootings that happened over there in New York when the Venezuelans killed that cop, and and other shootings, and another victims, the Venezuelan kids had take off, they're beating them up and all that stuff. I get it, but not all Venezuelans are bad people, and we got to keep that in mind. We cannot judge the bunch from one rotten apple. This kid was a prime example, man. He had his mother back at home. He had family back at home, but he really wanted to come here and work and give his mother a better life. His dream was to build her a house, to buy her a house where she could be happy and she can live proper. And he had just landed in San Francisco 2 days before he got killed. He landed on Wednesday. On Friday, he was killed. People began speculating, saying, oh, he was a Sureño because of the area he was killed between 19 and 20. 19 is from the Consvilles, Crazy 19 Sureños, and 20th Street where a mess used to be at. And supposedly there's new crews coming out from the clique. Can talk about this, but we will get into it a little bit later. But the kid was a barber. He was a barber. A lot of South American guys learned that trade. So Alberto was a barber. He had came here with a dream, like I was saying, to give his mother a better life and to get a better life himself. But his main goal was to help his mother. He wanted to buy her a house where she can feel comfortable and where she could live. She didn't want to come to the United States. That was his dream. He wanted to come here and be a barber, get his license, and get going. And like I was saying, people judge a lot of people just do because of what other people from their country do. And we have the tendency to judge a lot of them. But facts are facts. The kid was only here for 2 days in San Francisco, California. He had traveled from Venezuela to Colombia to over here. That journey from Venezuela to Colombia, I don't think it was easy. But from Colombia to here, I think that journey took a lot of him. And I don't think he got here and was like, you know what, I'm going to start gangbanging. Within 2 days of being in the city. He went and got a job as a barber right there in the Mission District. Unfortunately for him, at this time, this Mission District all of a sudden had decided to spark up the violence, and he got caught up. There was witness that said that the person in the car was eyeing him from across the street, was looking into him like he was the target. I don't think they had ever crossed paths from what I'm getting, from the reports, the police reports that I gather, the conversations that I had with other people. I don't think he knew the kid. I think he mistaken by something that he thought he was and decided to act on his anger, on his game banging mind, calling himself active, and decided to shoot the kid twice. He shot the kid. This kid is still running inside the barbershop trying to ask for help. He collapsed. When the paramedics got there, he was already more gone than alive. They try to save him. They do life saving measurements to trying to keep him alive. It didn't. Unfortunately, he passed away in a barbershop. For him, that was his first day at work. That was literally his first day at work. And because he wanted to make sure he got the job done well, he had left the house without eating. So he was looking forward to his lunch. He was looking forward to get something to eat and put some food on his stomach. On top of that, his mind was wandering on the little money that he had sent to his mother when he first got to the United States. He had done a little haircut and he had sent her $50 back home, where she was happy with $50. In Venezuela, I think $50 is a little bit of money that they didn't have. They come from a household. He came from a household that wasn't rich, that didn't have the means, or it wasn't wealthy enough, at least from what the mother said. Plus, the mother said he was a kind kid. He wasn't a type of individual, type of young man to go look for problems. He wasn't anger. He wasn't violence. He was easy to get along. His father and his mother say the same thing. The people that knew him in Venezuela say the same thing. He was an easy man to get along with. He was kind to people. He was respectful. And he was a hard worker. The people that knew him here, some of the friends that when he came to basically to the United States, they say the same thing. The time that we know him, he wasn't violent, he wasn't aggressive, he didn't belong to a gang. So just because he got killed in the gang territory area doesn't necessarily mean that we automatically gotta deem him as a gang member. That's what happens to gang members. We shouldn't be quick to judge people like that because we don't know what their background is. We don't know what happened. Homies from 16, homies from 19, homies from 23, they didn't know him. I spoke to a few individuals from all 3 different barrios and asked them questions if they knew him. They were like, nah, bro, we didn't know him. He wasn't one of us. So, as a fact, he wasn't a Sureño. There was not a gang-related shooting. There was an unfortunate incident that somebody with a gun decided to take a life just because the person that was coming there, he had a little long hair. I can give him that because he posted a picture. He had a little long hair, but he didn't dress like a cholo with baggy clothes like Frisco. You know, San Francisco area is well known from the little style, the little swag that we have. Bang, long t-shirts, big, saggy pants, a little bit 2 size extra, bigger. So he wasn't dressed like that. He had actually, when he first got here, he had took a picture of himself when he sent it to his mother with the caption that said, I made it. We're gonna be okay now. Because all his mind, everything that he had on his mind was work. I'm gonna bust my ass off to trying to get to this barber, trying to scale the positions to see where I can get. And maybe down the road even go to a school if I had the chance. He didn't came here with the dream of being a gang member and getting killed within a couple of days of being in the house of the dream, the American dream house. Because the United States seems like the country to be where your dream can come through. If you work hard, yeah, you can make it through. He didn't came here with that mentality. From what I gather, the information that I gather was he didn't even know gang members. I don't think it takes 2 days for you to get involved and the homies to put you on. That's not how it works. And first, because usually neighborhoods, they have to get to know you. You're not just gonna come from a country and be like, hey, I want to kick it with y'all. First, they're gonna be like, how you heard of us? How you know us? How you know what we are? What we represent? And then trying to figure out inquiries about him and everything else. And from that, it's still trying to figure out if he has the heart to it. So I don't think it took today for him to get me called a full-blown Sureño. like I said, for the information that I gather, he was just here to try to make a better living for himself and his mother. This person, Martinez, I believe the last name of the individual that got caught, he got caught the next day at early hours on Saturday. There haven't been no paperwork, no court documents that show that they knew each other, that they had some type of beef, that they had rows. The paperwork doesn't show that. The court papers doesn't show that. And it's public knowledge. You can get that paperwork at the courthouse. He was charged with a homicide because he killed this individual that he never seen, never knew, never had a problem with it from what I'm gathering, and just decided to throw his life away for somebody that he didn't know. It doesn't make no sense. So I was trying to dig a little bit deeper. That's why it took me a minute to get this video out, because I was trying to dig deep as I could to figure out if it was a case or either they had a beef in the country back then, or there was a romantic thing, or what was it. None of that shows, none of that points to it. All the point was we had an individual that had a gun, that had a car, and saw a target that he thought he could get away with killing, and decided to take action on it. And the point of this video is for 3 reasons. One is to make sure the fact is clear. He was not a Sureño. He was not a gang member. 2 is we lost 2 lives to the system. One that passed away, that now got to be sent back to Venezuela, which I don't even think their family had the money to come and get him from here over there. And 3 is this is what gangbanging is coming down to? Shooting people that you don't know, innocent people that you think are gang member? If this is gangbanging nowadays, then I don't know what to tell you, man. This is not what it's supposed to be. You can't just go around shooting people just because you think he's a rival. That does not make no sense. I remember back in the days, we used to be able to tell who was who and who was the opposition. The guy, if you looked at his picture, which I'm going to post in the thumbnail, he didn't look not even close to a gang member. He didn't even speak English that much. He barely had got here 2 days. All he wanted to do was focus on work and helping his mama out. That's it. I don't think and I don't feel it's right for him. He didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve what happened to him to happen to him. We got too many angry young men out there running around with guns that don't know what to do. They put a gun in their hands, or they go and buy a gun, and they think they have the power because of how it feels in your hand, and you go and shoot up an innocent person. That does not make no sense. This is why I keep pushing what I'm pushing, man. If you guys are gonna gangbang, at least do your homework. Know who you beefing with and why you're beefing with this person. I'm not glorifying, I'm not telling you go and pick up a gun and gangbang. I wish none of y'all would do that. Now, this man is gonna sit for life in prison, while the other one is no longer here, and his mother got to struggle to try to get her son's body to Venezuela, which I think is gonna be hard, because from what I gathered, they're not well off. They're not financially set. That's why he was here, looking for the American dream, trying to help his mom. Just like a lot of young Latinos nowadays that came from their homeland, they see how wrong it is and the struggle they have. They come here to try to make a better living for themselves and from their mothers most of the times. Because their mother is what we always want to protect and help. But now this kid loses life to gun violence yet again for stupid reasons. I just can't put in all the words. I can't find no other words to place it on. There was a stupid reason. There's no such a thing as he did deserve it to die just because. Even if he was a gang member. People gonna say, well, that's what gang member does. You know what you're getting yourself into. Sometimes people, like young people, don't know what they get themselves into. Sometimes they just get brainwashed and they see women's car, dope, money, and they think that's gang banging. To reality slapping on the face and they figure out it's not. I don't think Alberto was a gang member, not to the knowledge of myself after doing my homework. No, these dudes fight in life for shooting an innocent person, the one that are better for themselves. I don't think that's fair. I'm not wishing incarceration on the older man because I've been in those positions. I know how horrible it feels to be locked up for so many years. But he had to ask himself, why am I doing this? I wish I could talk to him and ask him, why you do that? Why you kill that kid, that young man? He was 20 years old. He was a young man. He had his whole life ahead of him. Youngsters, young brothers and sisters out there, young men, let's not pick up the gun. Let's not be quick to pick up a gun and go shoot at somebody just because you don't like the way they look or you don't like the way they dress. It's not fair for you to put your family through behind stupid decisions of gaming. And that block is still gonna be there. I did almost 15 years of my life, and I went back to the mission, that 20th Street Square where I used to post it up and bled for that block. Is still there. It looks the same. A concrete block. The only difference is that across the street from Pete Barbecue Chicken is another thing. Before it used to be Remo Latino. Across the street on the right side from Pete's Barbecue Chicken used to be Farmacia Remedio. No, excuse me. It used to be where they sell boxes for you to send to your country full of clothes and stuff like that. And across the street from that used to be Farmacia Remedio. And it still looks the same. Now the only difference, the streets are a little more messed up. You can't really drive like that no more. But it's still there. You think it's worth it spending so many years serving somebody else will, doing somebody else bidding, and thinking that they're gonna recognize you? No, man. At the end of the day, they can use you, abuse you. If they don't need you, they're gonna discard you. You don't wanna go down that road. Let's try, instead of killing each other, build each other up. With that said, I hope you guys liked the video. Comment. This is my own reaction. This is my thoughts to it. I think it was messed up. This young man died over gun violence for no reason. He was not a gang member. The other individual haven't even been, the police investigation haven't even revealed he was a gang member himself. So we don't know that. With that being said, man, let's be kind to one another. Let's love each other. Let's build each other back up before we tear each other down. Let's get it.